and welcome to NAACP Perspectives, where we showcase and highlight successes and achievements in the Johnstown African American community. I'm your host, Ron Fisher, and with me today is John Skelly, Vice President of Human Resources at JWF Industries. John, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you, Ron.
Pleasure
to be here.
Pleasure's all mine, buddy. So, John, before we get into actually your organization, JWF, talk to us a little bit about yourself. Are you originally from the area?
I am. I was actually born in Pittsburgh, but my family moved here when I was very young, long time ago.
Okay.
And I've been here, moved here when I was in 6th grade, graduate of Westmont Hilltop.
Okay.
And only left the area to attend college and spent some time in the United States Marines, came back to this area in the mid-1980s and have been here ever since.
That's good. So a local guy will say.
I would think. I certainly call myself that.
I'd say you're in the club. You're definitely in the club. So, you're actually filling in for Bill. Is it Polasek or
Polacek?
Polacek.
Bill Polacek,
Okay,
who was the president.
I know
CEO.
I was going to mess that up, so
Yeah.
I'm glad I had you on and not Bill.
Many do. That's right.
But that's good. But I'm glad you could join us today. So what I'm hearing is that there's a lot of good things going on within the organization. And before we get into that, talk to me a little bit about the organization. Now, actually, what part of town is it actually located in?
What's interesting about JWF Industries, it's located in the old Bethlehem Steel rolling mill. So it's right across the river from Roosevelt Boulevard, right down from the Stone Bridge, and we actually fill up pretty much that entire complex where the rolling mill used to be. So we are an OEM contract manufacturer. We do work for the commercial industry. We're also a defense contractor, and of late we have gotten into the oil and gas industry as well.
Okay.
The most recent venture that we have is called Environmental Tank and Container, and with that business we moved into what all the locals here call the Shell plant.
Yeah, with Marcellus Shell and everything.
And the Shell plant is essentially the last building in Johnstown as you're heading out Kramer Pike before you get to the Dornick Point plant. And now where there was once an empty building, just like in the rest of the rolling mill, when Bill moved his operations in there was nothing there. Through the work of the Johnstown Redevelopment Authority and the city, they partnered together many years, and we have always been a part of the city, and now we're very proud of the Environmental Tank and Container Corporation that has moved into the Shell plant, and we are looking forward to a growing operation there as well.
That's good. And I can actually picture it now. Now I can actually see an ETC.
That's what we call it.
Okay.
Yes.
That's good. That's good. So how long has JWF been around now?
Last year we celebrated our 25th anniversary.
25th, really?
Those who are familiar with Bill Polacek and the story of JWF Industries know that it started in 1987. Bill started the business literally in a two-car garage. And we now have almost 400 employees, about 380 employees. 80% of whom are production hourly employees, welder fabricators, machine operators, machinists, paint specialists, coatings specialists. We and as well as a full professional staff of supply chain professionals, finance professionals, human resources, and others that roll out a complete vertically integrated company that started in Johnstown, plans to stay in Johnstown. Bill is very proud of, as I believe all of the management team, of the fact that we are in town and a big part of this community, and we are also very proud to be able to create opportunities, employment opportunities in the area as well.
That's great. Now is Bill, is he a Johnstown guy too? Or?
He is.
Okay.
His whole family. He definitely was born and raised in Johnstown. The family is from Daisy Town.
Okay.
And he actually, we have two of his brothers who also work for JWF Industries as well. His brother John started the JWF Defense Systems in 2007. John came from the defense industries. He was working for a number of the large defense contractors, and Bill convinced him to join JWF Industries in 2007 as we began to diversify into the defense market. He also has his brother Tom, who is an engineer who has worked in various facets of the organization and is also central to the leadership team as well.
That's good. Family oriented, it sounds like.
Well, I'm glad that's the word that you used to describe it, because I know that's how we like to think of ourselves. We are a very family oriented company. We work very hard to provide employment opportunities for the area, but also to include the families and things that we do. You know, the annual picnic that we have, the Christmas parties. Bill remembers the days when he was he and his siblings would go to the Bethlehem Steel Christmas parties, and he's tried to recreate that environment.
That's good.
For his employees here as well.
That's good. Sometimes you have to get back to basics. Sometimes you get so far away you forget.
I agree. And the other thing is that because he is from the area, we with all due respect for many companies that come into the area, and we certainly appreciate that, because we've started here, there is not a far-off corporate headquarters somewhere that we have to be mindful of or respond to. All the decisions with regard to our business strategy and operations are made here in Johnstown by Johnstown people with the intent of, Bill says this all the time, of creating a company that he plans on assuring is here 100 years from now.
Oh, that's good. That's good. So what would you say is your organization's niche? What would you say is this is what we do and this is what we do well?
Welding is what we do.
Okay.
JWF Industries is an OEM contract manufacturer. We are a manufacturer, a production shop, and we have a craft labor force that we're very, very proud of. And foremost among that is our welders. We have production welders, and we also have welder fabricators. We do have those individuals that you can describe a concept of something you would like to build, put it on a napkin, write a crude drawing of it, and somebody can make that for you. We have that kind of talent within the organization. It takes a lifetime to build. These people have been there for many, many years. And they are very capable of meeting the response of a very demanding market and our customers. So welding is what we do, but we also have, because we are vertically integrated, we basically will take plate steel, bring it into the organization, and we will cut it into pieces that can be formed and bent, kitted up, by a group of professionals who will make sure that all those parts are accounted for. We deliver them to weld cells where welders and fabricators will create the part. Then we send them to our coating specialist who will coat that and either powder coat or wet paint. And then we ship that to our customers. So what we do for most of the work that we do is we feed somebody's assembly line. We create parts and weldments for that are part of a larger manufacturing process for our larger customers.
Okay.
What distinguishes Environmental Tank and Container is that is a company that was started to take advantage of all of the work that's being done in the Marcellus Shale, and because of that they are creating their own products. That's a wide open market there. So we have an engineering staff, we have our director of operations, as well as our business development folks that are meeting directly with the customer, understanding their need, and then actually creating products that we have designed and are taking out to the market. That's the first time we've done that.
Really?
And that's why, it looks like our Environmental Tank and Container has formed sort of the third leg of our stool, with the oil and gas. We were a commercial company for many, many years. For the first 23 years that after JWF Industries started, we made our niche by talking to our customers, finding out what they need, giving it to them at a better overall value than anyone else. Then we moved into the defense field because we felt that we could be a player in the market where we could create products that save people's lives, and we are very proud of that. We have created armor solutions that are used by special forces, among others. And we have seen our vehicles that have been in combat have taken hits from enemy fire and have survived that.
Okay.
And the people that were in those vehicles walked away. We are proudest of that more than anything else that we do. That the products that we have created have actually saved people's lives on the battlefield. And now, because as the markets have diverged and changed, now we see an opportunity to take the skills that we have learned in our years as a commercial business, as a defense contractor, and now we can be a player in the Marcellus Shale as well, and all at the same time providing what we like to think of and feel are family-sustaining jobs in this area, and also developing the talents of the workforce who come and join us. I say welding is what we do.
Okay.
But all of the craft skills that we have, we're very proud of them, and they're hard to find.
Yeah.
And we're glad that they are here, and now we are at the point that we have had people with us, well over 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. And we're only a 26-year-old company, so we're glad to be able to retain that talent.
That is. Well, one, it's impressive that it sounds like your company's staying ahead of the curve. It's seeing the trends that is going on out there, and it's capitalizing on that, and you're growing and being successful at it. So that's definitely a plus.
I think more than anything else, that's what has characterized Bill Pelagic's success, is his ability to look up, look out, look into the market, and say, I think, this is what's happening out there. That's one of the reasons why we felt that we also now have the opportunity to create our own talent internally, and what we did 2 years ago was create the John J. Pelagic Senior Memorial Scholarship in partnership with Penn Highlands. I heard the guest from Greater Johnstown High School talking about their partnership with Penn Highlands, and that's a partnership that we're very proud of as well. Penn Highlands established a Welding Technology Associate's degree program where they actually utilize our weld school and our facilities as part of that instruction, so that we can create people with an associate's degree in welding technology who also have the full range of educational experiences that it takes to be successful in a company like JWF. We're not a steel mill per se. I mean, we're not that kind of an organization. What we need are people who can take their talents and skills but utilize them in a very demanding high-tech environment. So they also, while we have welders and fabricators, and we have machinists and coating specialists, they all have to be computer savvy. They all have to be able to communicate with customers. They all have to be able to understand what a customer is looking for, and show up and work hard and do a good day's work, because that none of what we do is there's no long-term contracts or anything else. We have to go out and find our market and find our work all the time. And what we have decided to do, what Bill has decided to do with the John J. Pelagic Memorial Scholarship, named after his father. His father was a steel worker here in town. What we believe that we can do is essentially grow the talent that we need for the future by partnering with Penn Highlands. Penn Highlands will provide a solid academic background for them. Working with us through our welding technology courses, we can give them the fundamentals to become a production welder, and then they can take that into the workforce and grow their success with us. That's what we're doing. We established our weld school because we felt that we had the talent internally that could nurture talent within the community that may not have the opportunity, and also frankly meet our fairly high standards of what we require in workmanship and building our products. So the John J. Pelagic Scholarship is one of our, we established it 2 years ago. We're very proud of it, and that's one of the reasons we want to get that word out. We want to get the word out to those who are interested in staying in the area, would like to develop a skill, to partner with Penn Highlands, to plan to attend Penn Highlands. And if you do that, our scholarship will actually, if you're selected for it, we will pay your tuition for the program. And we will also hire people to come in during the summer months or the times when they're not in school to give them practical, real working experience. And then we look to have and we'll pay them a training wage when they do that. And then we'll look to have them provide a position for them upon the graduation. If they successfully get through that program, the Penn Highlands program is very demanding. Our expectations for our employees are also very demanding. But if we get through that, that's somebody we'd like to keep. That's somebody we want to keep in the area.
That's good. I mean, and you've groomed them to be that candidate for that position.
Exactly right.
Sounds like a win-win to me.
And we are also, we've started our discussions with the state and the Department of Labor to look at an apprenticeship in our machining division as well, because that's another area where we find that there is talent in this area. They don't necessarily have to leave to take their talent and find a good paying job. More than anything else, we want people to understand that while we try not to make a huge big splash in terms of shows and commercials and that sort of thing. The fact is, we are a presence in this community. The organization has been here for 26 years now. We plan on being here for another 100 years. And we want people to know that if you have that desire to succeed, or willing to go to a school like Penn Highlands, then we are not a company that's just we're not interested in just your back. We're not interested in just your labor. We want your mind. It's a very tough and demanding world out there, and we want your skills and to work with us, and we'll teach you as best we can. We'll teach you what you need to know in terms of being a welder. We partner with Penn Highlands that gives you the academic background, and then you can take it from there.
That's great. You've touched on so many points I wanted to elaborate on. With the scholarship, are you seeing? Now you said it's only been 2 years though so far, right?
Yes.
Now, how long is the program?
Well, it's as long as the Penn Highlands, which depends on how quickly the individual goes through. The Penn Highlands program is about 60 credit hours for an associate's degree, which takes most people about 2.5, 3 years to get through that. So if you're continuing to work with Penn Highlands, you're following their regular educational sequence. Then when you're not going to school, then you'll work for us and work with our weld instructors, who will also show you what it is to work in a production environment.
Okay, that's good.
And so that's what that's how long the program will last.
Yeah. Okay. So have you seen some success from the scholarship? Have you got some worthy candidates to come over?
We have. And we are interested in getting the word out, working with the schools in the area, and because we will be soliciting again for people to apply for our scholarship. We usually do that around the end of the year, the November-December timeframe, with the intent of running them through the candidates through our selection process in the first part of the calendar year, and then have them start with us in the summertime, working directly with our weld school instructor and learning what it is to be a production welder. And then they start with Penn Highlands in the fall, and then we will start to pay their tuition at that point.
So say I was interested in the program that you're speaking of. How could I go about getting more information or looking more into it?
I think two ways. If you are a high school student interested in staying in this area, wanting to develop these skills, contacting your high school guidance staff will get you started, because that's who we talk to. We start with the guidance staff at the high schools and ask them to get the word out about the scholarship program and identify students that they feel might be successful in a program like that. At the same time, I think having a direct dialogue with Penn Highlands has a full admissions staff that can help somebody get into the program and also inform them of the opportunity that we might have. And then apply, apply for it. So, it's something that through my office, we take all the applications, we handle all the solicitation for it. So we screen all of the candidates, we interview all the candidates ourselves, we make recommendations to Bill and his management team. And we are interested in developing the talent that we know is in this area. You have seen guests come on the program that clearly have a lot to contribute to the community. And we want people to know that you don't have to leave the area to either have a career or have a good job or do what you have a strong desire to do. Manufacturing is not for everybody, but it's for those who like like to create something with their hands, like to watch a product being built, like to be part of that whole process of manufacturing. JWF Industries is a wonderful place. It's a wonderful place to work because every day is different. Things are happening a lot. So
in essence, it's not your father's steel mill, right?
That's as Bill would say. That's exactly right.
That's good. That's good. You had said you don't have to leave, which a lot of our young folks think you have to leave the area to be successful. In the recent Tribune Democrat Leadership Conference, 72% of our youth said that they had to leave Johnstown to find a good career. What do you have to say to that? What kind of careers do you have to offer within? And besides actually going to the program, how can I just say, you know what, I think this is a field I want to get into? Do you have a website at all?
We do. Okay. And we also, www.jwfi.com explains our entire organization, gives the full history. ETC has its own website that describes the products and services through that organization. And I would encourage anyone that has an interest in learning more about our organization to look at the websites. We also, if there's a job fair in the area, recently we were up at the job fair in Richland, we will have a presence there. And certainly we are connected very closely with Penn Highlands, and they have a placement group. Again, they have the admissions folks. And I'm glad you asked a question that you did, Ron, because it's not, yes, it's true, welding is what we do. We are a welding and fabrication company, but JWF Industries stands for something much larger than that. We do have we have robotic technicians, for example, that work with us. We do have supply chain professionals that not only have to leverage a college degree in procurement, or some related field, but also we encourage people to get a professional certification in their field. As I mentioned, we have finance and accounting professionals. We have, again, human resources professionals. None of us, or very few of us, I should say, are welders and fabricators, although we have a great deal of respect for those who are. And many of us have come from a different career path, and we found our way into JWF Industries as well, because we had a talent or skill that organization could use. So it is a very dynamic and very, I think the proper word is high tech. Because everybody, has to have computer knowledge to be successful, no matter what position that you're in.
You're right.
And as I mentioned, you have to be able to speak to a customer, speak to auditors, speak to other professionals that are interested in what we're doing. That takes a level of skill beyond and above, just having the ability to craft or make something. And that's the kind of individuals that we're looking for, that have that sort of ambition. And those that do, we can demonstrate a very clear track record of success in our organization. We have 2 vice presidents in our operations, that both of them started as welders on the floor. Pretty much all of our supervision came from, started as welders and worked their way up.
Okay, that's good. That's the best way to know.
And they also have taken the initiative to develop their own education. We have a tuition reimbursement program in our organization. So if you're an employee and you had, for example, a bachelor's degree and or an associate's degree, and you wanted to advance that to the next level through Penn Highlands or another local educational institution, and there are many wonderful ones in this area, we would pay for that.
That's great. That is.
And we encourage that. We have a strong philosophy of we want you to be successful in your career. We want to give you the tools and capabilities that round out all those skills that you have. And yes, we want your talents and abilities to help us be successful as an organization.
And you don't have to leave the area.
And you don't have to leave the area to do that.
That's great. That's fantastic. Now, I was also reading about a student co-op store or something that you also have.
What we do is we are in touch with the local high schools, but we also work with the Greater Johnstown Career and Technology Center to identify students that may have an interest in manufacturing. And what we will do is bring them in on a work-study partnership so that they will spend half day in school, half day on the job with us. We typically, at one point, we've had as many as 15 of those kids that are working with us, and we are working with the schools now with the intent of bringing these students in. We like to give them, somewhere in the junior, senior year, that experience. We have to watch them very closely because you've got child labor rules, and you've also, of course, you've got to make sure that what we do can be dangerous, so that we have to very much adhere to our safety program and watch out for them on the job. But we can give them an experience working in something that they wouldn't have otherwise. And again, we can give them an employment opportunity when they leave. If they get through that, they realize that is what they want to do with their life. They do feel some confidence in what they've done, and we can give them an employment opportunity.
That's good.
If it all comes together, they do well, and we continue to grow our business. That's what we like to do for both those in the Welding Technology Program, the John J. Polaczyk Scholarship Program, and our student co-ops as well. If we can do it, we want to give them a career here in town.
That's great. I'm really glad that you came on today. I've learned a lot about the organization, and I'm glad to see that you're not just worried about the bottom line, the dollar. It's about developing locals here and bringing them about, and everybody being successful. It's great that our listeners, our viewers, get to see that there is opportunity here, and because that 72% kind of irks me, that 72% of our youth think that they have to leave the area to find success in a career. And obviously, with the information you gave us today, that's not true.
And I hope that message is loud and clear. Honestly, if you want to leave the area because you want to experience the world, I understand that. But if you're somebody that has an interest in staying in this area, there is opportunity here, and I would hope that working with the local educational institutions like Penn Highlands in partnership with us, are looking at the Welding Technology Program. If you like to work with your hands, if you like the manufacturing environment, that's something that we would be interested in working with you to help create that opportunity for both of us.
That's great. I love the fact that you partner up, because I probably say this on every show, but it takes partnership to get moving further and be successful. You know, you can't just do it by yourself. You can't just be Kobe Bryant. You need to have some other people on your team, you know. So it's glad to see that you're partnering up with some local organizations here and that you're seeing success while doing it. Now we have, John, just a few minutes left here in the show. Is there anything else that you wanted to go over, anything that you're proud about the organization or anything?
Well, I'm very proud of quite a bit about the organization. Personally, I left corporate America, you know, and I had the good fortune of running across Bill at a professional function somewhere, and I left a very comfortable and in a typical office environment of cubicles and offices, and came into the manufacturing environment where I had not worked before, and have been always impressed at the talents and skills of the people in this area. You talk about the work ethic of Western Pennsylvania. Some say it's disappearing. We believe that it's if you provide the right climate and the environment and frankly the leadership, that talent and skill is out there. We're very proud of our workforce and the work that they've done. Bill is, as I mentioned, he has a real talent for looking up and looking out and trying to pick the best market to go into. But he has also learned to rely on the talents and capabilities of the people that whose skills will help him get there. We have our own philosophy is that we want our employees to succeed. You had mentioned about the bottom line. Well, like any other business, we have to make a profit in order to survive. But the most important thing for us is for our employees to succeed. We push our management team. To get involved, get the people who are on the floor and actually doing the work involved in as many decisions as they can, because we always get a better outcome when you ask the people who are actually doing the work.
That's fantastic.
And that's the kind of organization we've tried to create.
That's great. And development is what I love, that you're developing and you're growing the talents. Beautiful thing. I'm really impressed with the organization. I hopefully our viewers took heed to the information you gave today, and you heard the man. You don't have to leave the area to be successful. You don't have to leave. So for all of you thinking that you have to abandon ship, please have a plan first, but also be sure to look to see what's available, because as you see, we have a growing successful business that are looking for youth. So why run from an opportunity when the opportunity lies right in front of you? So, John, it's really been a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you, Ron.
Definitely. Hopefully, we can get you and Bill to come on the next time, maybe in the next couple months or next year, and talk about some of the more great things and the success you're seeing from your scholarship program.
Great.
Definitely. Well, viewers, I hope you enjoyed our show. You've been watching NAACP Perspectives with host Ron Fisher and my guest today, John Skelly, Vice President of Human Resources at JWF Industries. Be sure to contact us at NAACP Perspectives, P.O. Box 1064, Johnstown, PA 15907. You can reach us by email, naacpjohnstown@gmail.com. And you can also reach us by telephone, 814-535-6937. And be sure to find us on Facebook. Again, folks, I'm your host, Ron Fisher, telling you that you don't have to leave town to be successful. You heard the man right beside me. You don't have to go. There's plenty of opportunity right here in town for you. So be sure to tune in to some more great shows that we have coming up here soon. That's Thursdays at 7 p.m. on Atlantic Broadband's local Channel 9. Again, 7 p.m. Atlantic Broadband local Channel 9. I will see you then. This is Ron Fisher signing out. John, thanks for joining me. Thank you.